In the shadows of the mind where secrets hide, we dive into the dark where truth collides.
Forensic minds unravel the twisted thread. True crime tales from the living and the dead.
Why did they do it? To help, for love, in anger or insane? Who will remember them? Who is to blame? The victims deserve justice. The guilty should be until the end of time. Echoes of the past in every crime.
From the profiler's chair to the courtroom fight, we seek the reasons in the dead of night.
Motives buried deep in hearts gone cold. Stories of the broken waiting to be told. Why did they do it? To help, for love, in anger or insane? Who will remember them? Who is to blame? The victims deserve justice. The guilty should be until the end of time. Join the quest, uncover the line.
Welcome to the channel where minds meet the macabre. Forensic psychology and true crime lore.
Subscribe and stay, let's explore the why.
In the name of justice, under watchful eyes.
Well, hello, everybody. I hope that you're all doing really, really well. Let's make sure that our music stops and doesn't start up again. Hey, Nona G, welcome. Nana Flower Power, good heavens, you were fast today. You are the winner. Kathy R, Team Doocy Doo, Requiem, Kelly, Hybrid Pisces, how are you doing? Good to see all of you. And you guys can't see me, which, not that there's anything to really look at, but it definitely does help the conversation when one of us can see the other, right? So you guys get to see me, but if you guys would make channels, then I would get to watch you. So maybe you should do that. Okay. So, man alive, this little heifer, she opened a firestorm here. The firestorm being, Trisha, listen, girlfriend, I take issue with you. Not that you care. I know you don't. Um, but I've actually had issue with her for years. I went back to try to pull the video where I was unfairly targeted and attacked when I had a very small channel and virtually no one on YouTube knew who I was. I went back to go find that video, but miraculously, it's been taken down because it really wasn't a good reflection on Trisha. So thank you, at least, Trisha, for taking it down, because had you reached out to me for my side of the story, I would have been absolutely happy to have a respectful conversation and give you my side of the story, in addition to the evidence that would have proven that you were being lied to and used, exploited by a different YouTube creator that doesn't have much care for the facts. And, at the time, I actually thought that you were really credible. And unfortunately, there's been an awful lot of information come out about you that is based in the court system. So I tend to believe it to be true. That shows that, you were right at home with this YouTube creator that was lying about me. You didn't care about the truth. It didn't bother you one bit to be targeting someone with a really small channel, telling whopper lies about me. It didn't bother you a bit, not a bit. But now you seem to be bothered by, I guess, what you formerly would have called a reaction video. What? Why is Jules upset? It's just me and my friendly creator friend who we're just doing a reaction video, right? Except when it's you that people have discussed, or when it's one of your, gruesome threesome YouTube creators that are exploiting the families of murder victims. Then you want to stand up with your virtue signaling and say, oh, this is so bad. Look at these cyber bullies. Know what I mean? So I'm back, and this isn't my style. I do not like the daily videos where you're holding someone accountable and pointing out their bad behavior. It's stifling. It causes kind of a sense of not depression, but dysphoria, where you just feel yucky by the whole thing. I think it's horrible and incredibly yucky, Trisha, that Lauren Matthias targeted a young woman, literally tried to manipulate police officers to bring bullshit charges against that young woman, and that her oh so special licensed psychologist husband was trying to drum up 5 counts so they could put this woman into prison for 25 years. What is her crime? Nothing. Telling the truth. That was her crime. Just telling the truth. That Lauren Matthias said horrible things about Kay Woodcock and her family. It wasn't a lie. Not once, not a single time has Lauren Matthias said, they're lying about me. They're saying that I said things about JJ Vallow's family that I never said. I never said those things about Tylee. No, that was never Lauren's defense. That was never the defense of Trisha or Megan. The defense was, you don't get to talk about me. You don't get to repeat the things that I said because you're going to interfere with my money-making venture on YouTube. That's what she said. That was her defense. And the judge responded by saying, listen here, lady, you don't get to use the court system to take away someone's right to discussion, to talk. You don't get to take their voice, like that poor little Ariel in The Little Mermaid, where Ursula, the cretin, the horrible, big, huge, blubberous, awful, evil octopus steals little Ariel's voice. You, Lauren Matthias, you don't get to be Ursula. And Trisha and Megan, well, they're kind of like Flotsam and Jetsam, aren't they? So you pissed me off in your little, oh, don't be a cyberbully video. But that's what you're trying to do. You were trying to manipulate your subscribers. You were trying to influence through the power of suggestion and I suppose possibly confirmation bias. You were trying to influence them to not believe the things that have been said that are factual about the gruesome threesome, Lauren, Trisha, and Megan. So we're going to kind of look at that today, Trisha, for the benefit of your subscribers. So your subscribers don't have to act as if they're in a cult, but where they can actually see reality and then make a decision for themselves. The poor me, oh gosh, poor me. You listen, here's an absolute reality, Trisha. Are we really talking about cyberbullying, or are we talking about good old-fashioned accountability? Right? What is accountability exactly? And this is for Trisha's subscribers. This is for the copycat gems or the Idaho potato gems. What do you guys prefer actually from over there on Hidden True Crime with Lauren and John Matthias? What do y'all think she meant about you guys? Do you think she meant that we are potatoes? We're the true crime potato heads. Is that what Lauren meant when she called you the gems? Or are you counterfeit gems because she copied a channel that was called Jewels of Thought? And the membership of the Jewels of Thought channel were tanzanites, diamonds, and amethysts. Like real gems. And we even had a song, It's Raining Gems, instead of It's Raining Men, right? I bet you $10. Lauren has no idea why she named you guys the Gems. She later came out and said, oh, it was because of, the connections to Idaho or Utah. So you're potatoes, because that's what Idaho Gems are. They're potatoes. Okay. So, or maybe you prefer to just be the hidden gems, like dirty little secrets. I remain perplexed by John Matthias that, I'm not exactly a dumb person. I learn fairly easily, have good deductive reasoning skills. I don't get hidden the hidden true crime, the hidden gems. Why hidden? Like usually when people are trying to hide things, it's hidden out of shame or fear of accountability, punishment. Why did you choose hidden? Are we hiding the fact, Dr. Matthias, that you're the great and powerful Oz of true crime, but Lauren has a husband who won't work? Even when you guys didn't have any money before the success of the YouTube channel, I have a husband who won't work. So is that what's hidden? That the licensed psychologist is an illusion? That you're not actually practicing that? Look, again, this is not about cyberbullying. This is just about simple accountability. And when they are using his titling, his professional licensing to market their channel, then that opens the door to accountability, right? So look, I don't really have a problem with him saying, I'm a forensic psychologist and here's what I think. I don't care about that, actually. I won't do it because I'm following my ethics code. But somebody else wants to put their license on the line. It's none of my business. I don't care. But I do care very much when you begin using your illusion that you've created to manipulate subscribers. When you're using the lies that you've constructed, the illusion or delusion that you're living under, when you're using it to hurt other people, that's when I care. When I decide to get vocal, like I'm caring about things long before I get vocal, right? But the decision to get vocal happens when one of my friends is hurt, when a family member is attacked. Those are the moments then where I stand up and say, okay, you want to fight? I'll fight. I don't really care if you say anything about me. I don't often respond to people talking about me online. I am smart enough to know that if I'm going to go online and I'm going to put my opinions and my thoughts out there, there will be some people that align with my thoughts and there will be some people that despise me because of my thoughts, and I'm okay with that. So I don't often answer to people saying anything about me. But I will very much answer to a group of people with literally hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Duty, Ron. You decide to take your collective weight and harm actual crime victims. That will get me activated. So people have been speaking out again about Megan, who in a really interesting way, her last video, if you didn't watch it, it's the two videos from yesterday called Help Me Understand. And you'll see Megan in big pink letters and a little pay piggy with YouTube coin and a big star because Megan is hungering for significance. Okay. So those are two videos. You can go back and watch them later. But all I'm going to say is this. Many people, friends of Kresha's and Kay, Larry, many people are speaking out on this little video, and I took quite a lot of time and made fun of the love bombing that Megan uses to start out the video. And she starts the video out by saying, "Hello, you beautiful humans," or "Welcome, you beautiful humans." That's how she starts it. And she's got that icky, sweet, high fructose corn syrup smile. as she blows smoke up the asses of her cult members. Welcome. Hello, you beautiful humans. But then if you'll fast forward to the end of the video, she ends the very same video with, fuck you, I'll do what I want to fucking do because it's my fucking channel. Gosh. Wow, Megan? What happened? Did you forget yourself? Did you forget about the beautiful humans that you were sucking into your lair with your sugary sweet crap? That's the manipulator. Duty Ron, are you paying attention yet to your alliances? You guys took literally hundreds of thousands of subscribers, real power, to go after people that didn't even have a YouTube channel, much less a small YouTube channel. Lauren Matthias, with her bullshit, I'm a certified life coach and I'm married to a licensed psychologist. Worship me. We're better than the rest of you. She took her 330,000 people to try to put an innocent woman into prison for 25 years so she could hide the secret that she made fun of Kresha and Kay. You people don't care, Duty Ron? You don't give a damn about that? Oh, no. You give a damn about your channel, don't you? It's all about your successful channel. It's all about your money, isn't it, Duty Ron? Because it seems like to me, someone who's law enforcement, someone who made detective, someone who cares about the little guy, seems like to me you'd have been damn uncomfortable with hundreds of thousands of subscribers being unleashed on people that had 0 subscribers, 0 presence, that had no kind of reputation at all online with which to defend themselves. You would rather pull up next to these gruesome threesome and get into the Mean Girl Club, Duty. Yeah, you're not a detective. You jumped into the Mean Girl Club to hurt people who had no way to defend themselves, none other than, in the case of Christina, the law. All I can say is thank God for the police officer that John Matthias was talking to, that he could not be convinced by a bullshit, fraudulent licensed psychologist to arrest a young woman to protect his baby girl. He's got to protect Lauren because people are telling the truth about what Lauren did. What are you people getting indignant about exactly? I'm feeling a little bit confused. Little Miss Virtue Signaler, what's her name? Kitten Mittens. Oh, making another video about I think she said fellow YouTube creator. I thought you were better than that, Jules. I thought you were better. This is not a good look. No, I'll tell you what is a good look. You want to know what a good look is? To have some integrity, Kitten Mittens. To be able to look at the collective force of these 4, 5, 6 creators that took their channels, hundreds of thousands of people who took this collective force, well over 600,000 subscribers when you add them all up, to try and put into prison for 25 years if John Matthias had gotten his wish. and to stand back and say nothing, to grift off of Kay and Larry Woodcock, off of Crescia's family, to grift off to them to the tune of millions of dollars in the case of Lauren Matthias, years, multiple trials, and go, oh, poor Wawin, poor Wawin. People are speaking out about the truth. Oh, small channels. But we have integrity. We looked at this situation and said, holy shit. Do you want to be a person on YouTube who has no YouTube channel, no subscribers, has never made content on YouTube at all, and you want to unleash the wrath of 600,000 crazy YouTube fans? And these poor girls have no defense, no pre-existing reputation on which to stand. Even going after the family of JJ and Tylee Ryan, going after the family of Charles Vallow, even in that context, you 600,000 cult members, you didn't care. You didn't care. All you cared about is that they were bad-mouthing your precious Wawin, and you weren't going to have it. So you started coming after Crescia, and you're still coming after her. So excuse the hell out of me, Kitten Mittens, if I decide to speak out with my own opinion, with what I've known about Crescia long before any of these trials even got started. Excuse the hell out of Hella excited utterances if she does the right thing and puts out actual factual receipts that show exactly what Lauren Matthias was saying to other people about Crescia, what she said about Kate and Larry Woodcock. Excuse the hell out of us if we're not being a part of your stupid cult, Kitten Mittens. I'm feeling real good about who I am right now. I'm good. I'm good in my little obscure corner over here. What I am not feeling good about, though, is you people, Kitten Mittens. I thought better of you, Kitten Mittens, that you would be able to stand on your own 2 feet and say, wow, you know, that was a really bad thing. That was a really bad thing that these people did. That was awful for Lauren Matthias to know that she said these horrible things, and she still went to Duty Ron and manipulated him into publicly standing up with his huge, powerful channel to try to hurt people that didn't even have a YouTube presence, no existing reputation with which to defend themselves, nothing. You see, Trisha, I've been there. I've got skin in the game, what you guys did to Christina and Lindsay and the others. I was there. You were a part of that. I had no channel, couple thousand people, had only been around for a few months, didn't really know anything. And your dumbass, you invited a woman onto your platform that had like 40, 50,000 subscribers who was telling the most insane, crazy lies about me. And you entertained her. You hosted her. You bought into, oh my God, Jules is such a horrible person. Why is she acting so psychotic? You did that, Trisha. So I know exactly how Christina felt as she watched these huge channels coming for her. And she's sitting there thinking, oh my God, none of these people are going to believe a word I say. They all worship Lauren Matthias. They worship Duty Ron. They worship Trisha. They're never going to believe anything I say in my defense. I'm screwed. And Lauren Matthias was just psychopathic enough not to just rely on slander, not to just enjoy talking crap about people that have no defense. She wasn't happy with that. We had to get the police involved, didn't we, Lauren? Oh, yeah. You and your piece of shit licensed psychologist husband threw your weight around trying to influence that cop to arrest Christina. Well, what did that cop say, Lauren? What did that cop say to you? There's been no laws broken. There's been no laws broken. John Matthias, are you not listening when a lowly peon police officer says, no laws broken? Yeah, but if we could get five instances, that's 5 years each instance. That'd be 25 years in prison. 25 years in prison to do what exactly, John? To keep your wife's dirty little secrets secret. Keep them hidden. Right? So, yeah, I responded yesterday to Megan, not cyberbullying, but accountability. That the manipulation continues. That she is the person who starts a video with, hello, beautiful humans, and she ends it with F, 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 F. Accountability. And rather than Trisha, who's done her own fair share of bullying others, lots of bullying others, except she's a dirty deleter. She hides the evidence, right? She decides to then go do her live and manipulate her subscribers. So let's take a quick listen to how she is manipulating her subscribers. Whoops, sorry about that.
What I found out tonight was I started to investigate the story of Daryl Sheets, the Storage Wars guy. I didn't watch Storage Wars. I mean, I knew the concept, but I didn't know any of these people. And I just saw the headlines that
I love Storage Wars. I don't know how many of you people watched it when it first came out. Loved, 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 loved. I was also going to antique auctions. I was going to Goodwill stores. Me and my husband, as a hobby, we were having a great time picking. We even kind of, because we started watching the Storage Wars, we even kind of played with the idea of maybe going to one of these auctions. And, you know, ultimately we decided that was a lot bigger than what we were doing. We were just finding like little treasures, right? Like a couple. We just find little treasures and then turn around and make $10 or $20 off of them. Now, we weren't like getting big money. It was more about the fun of just spending Saturday or Sunday driving around in the countryside, going to an antique auction. You know, it was just a hobby, fun play thing. So we were really into Storage Wars. We had a really great, fun time watching. And, you know, Daryl, he was part of the original cast. But it wasn't just him. It was his son as well. When they joined, he and his son were doing auctioning, buying these storage units. Okay. At some point, I think in 2023, don't hold me to that, but I think it was 2023, they wrote his son out of it. They took him off the show, and they were getting like $30,000 an episode. Daryl and his son were making money, big money. Not this little bullshit Trisha money, but real cash. And in 2023, they basically squeezed out the son, and he was not happy with that. He said he was very vocal that he wanted to remain in the show. He wanted to continue. He and his dad were a big favorite. And he made a public statement and said that he wanted to remain in the show, but that he was basically pushed out for money reasons. They wanted to get rid of the high-paying original cast and replace them with lower, level salaries. And that was ultimately what killed the show, because it was the thing that made the show so successful was the array of personalities, how they fit together. And when they began breaking that up and changing roles, it ruined the original charm, I guess, of the show. So at the same time that they pushed his son out, which was really hard for their family, they also took money away from Daryl. He was originally doing something like 26 episodes a season, $30,000 per episode. And at the same time they squeezed out his son, they told Daryl that they were going to give him 4 shows a season. So he goes from making a couple million a year to $100,000 a year, and his son's money is gone. So it was a huge hit, right? Came out of nowhere. They weren't expecting it. They didn't know that the producers were having money problems. They thought they had this hit show and that all was well and they were doing great. So in 23, the son was pushed out and Daryl's money was dramatically cut. He did end up doing more than the 4, but it was still a big change. Now, the reason that I go into this weird, business part of this is this. Trisha, in all of her wisdom, she is going to exploit the death, the horrible, tragic death of a regular citizen who was put on a reality TV show, right? So people began to know who he was, but he's still doing his same job he always did, which was picking. But because a TV show picked him up, made him a part of the cast, he ended up benefiting, lots of money coming in. He's still not really a famous person. He's a visible person, right? But Trisha, because she has no integrity, because the way she conducts herself today, it is not the same as the way she previously conducted herself. And she doesn't mind exploiting people for her own means. She doesn't mind moving to Texas and having an 80-year-old woman pay her move. Many people think pay her rent, buy her clothes, buy her servers. She does not mind exploiting, stealing, taking money from her subscribers. Why would she mind exploiting a dead guy? Well, how will he know? He'll never know. He's dead. Yeah, but he's got a son, Trisha. He has a son who's young and alive and well. Do you think his son is very happy with you deciding to take the death of his father and using that as a weapon against people that are holding you accountable? Do you think he'd appreciate that? I don't think he would appreciate it. And if you're Daryl's son and you would like a platform to voice your opinion, you are welcome on my channel. I'm going to guess that you would probably be welcome on Jolene Lunzer's channel, maybe Jay, Every Day with Jay. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for them. But my guess is if you want a big channel, look toward Hella. There's people that would give you a platform to say, hey, strange little lady, stop exploiting the death of my father for your own bullshit means. All right? There were other stressors in this man's life. There were very difficult circumstances happening with his family and his situation. And these people that were bullying Daryl were not bullying Daryl. They were breaking the law. They were on his property. They were physically assaulting him. This wasn't a bunch of little bitchy ladies online saying, ooh, let's get Duty Ron to use his big, strong channel and we will get that girl to shut up. We'll take that little nobody, know nothing, and we'll shove her ass in prison for 25 years in order to keep our filthy, hidden secrets hidden. But in all of her infinite wisdom, Trisha and Stacy have decided that Daryl ended his life because he was being cyber bullied. And that becomes her weapon.
Daryl Sheets killed himself. And then you go deeper into the story, and he had been horribly cyberbullied and bullied in person and on the internet. And it was horrific, apparently. And Stacy is going to read a post that he made.
I wonder, Trisha, do you think it was as horrific as what Christina experienced at the hands of you, Lauren Matthias, Duty Ron, Ed Gein? Do you think it was that level of horror? I just can't shake the feeling that you've got this woman who's not lying. She's Christina. It did not lie. Nobody ever said what Christina is saying is a lie. That was not their defense because they knew they did say it. You didn't care about that though, did you, Trisha? You don't care, obviously, about the truth. What you care about is protecting your cult members and your alliances. And frankly, if I was Duty Ron, I would be so mad that I got manipulated and sucked into the madness of you wenches. If I were Duty Ron, I would be really unhappy about that. I think what y'all put Christina through was terrifying. You see, when it was done to me, when I had these weird lies, these terrible things being said about me by MRB, and you invited her on your channel for her to slander me to all your subscribers, I was sick to my stomach. And I went through this problem solving and I thought, how do I defend myself? Like, nothing, these women have a presence on YouTube. They're known. Their subscribers love them. And I'm nobody. I'm nobody. So why would they ever believe any defense that I would claim against these weird, crazy lies that were being told? I felt sick to my stomach. I was very sad because I was grieving the death of my dad, who was the one person in this world that I just never thought it was possible to live without him, because he was my friend and he was my confidant. And you know what you guys did? I took a month off when he died, because that's what I'm supposed to do according to my professional knowledge and my ethics code. If I'm aware of biases or circumstances that take me away from providing a proper level of care to my patients, I'm supposed to take time off. I'm supposed to put my patients first and make sure that when we meet, I'm at my best. And no, I didn't abandon them. I did exactly what APA says that I'm supposed to do, which is transferred them to someone else for that month. But you know what you guys did? You guys used that as a weapon against me. You said it was proof that I wasn't a psychologist. You said, what kind of psychologist just takes a month off when they feel like it? You should call the licensing board because she abandoned her patients. I couldn't believe what I was in the middle of. I couldn't believe the insanity coming out of y'all's mouths. And I wasn't going to come on YouTube and start flashing around my license, my diplomas, my credentials, and say, see, I'm proving who I am. See, I wouldn't have, no way was I going to stoop to that level, John Matthias. So I had no choice, Trisha. You guys got to run away with the story. You guys got to make up lies, say shit about me, judge me in the most horrendous way. And because I am a professional, because I do know what my ethics code tells me to do, I let it. I just said, let them say what they want to say. Let them do what they want to do. But I felt sick. I felt terrible. It is a weird, let me tell you what is a weird situation. You want to talk about a weird experience? I'm with you here, Christina. Do you know that this crazy heifer that was saying these things about me, do you know there's a video, it's still up on her channel. She hadn't even taken it down. I don't know why she didn't take it down out of humiliation and shame. But she did a live, and it was quite a long one. She's got this baby doll. It's like a doll. It's like a rubber doll, right? And she's got it in a bathtub. And she's rubbing the baby, like she's massaging the legs and the feet of the baby. I know y'all think I'm crazy. I promise. I would not show it because it's just bizarre. Okay. But she's caressing this inanimate object, just lovingly, just squeezing and rubbing on the thighs of this little baby and rubbing the stomach of this baby in this bathtub, massaging the feet of the baby. I promise. And do you know what she's saying? She's telling her subscribe. Now, here I am sitting on my little channel with no subscribers and no one knows who I am, right? She's rubbing and she's caressing this toy. And as she's doing this, and she's it's like she's in a haze, like a fog, right? Like she's not really thinking clearly or something. She's got this like dreamy sound to her voice. It's weird, guys. And she starts saying that jewels of thought, me, that I got all of my teeth pulled out so that I could get dentures. I don't know this woman. I don't know anyone in her channel. I think she's from like New York or New Jersey or something. I don't know anybody from New York or New Jersey. I don't know anybody from Pennsylvania. I know of grannies watching, but I don't know anyone like actually face to face. This woman is talking about my health care in the, like she somehow knows, right? Like somehow that she has knowledge, right? And what do you do with that? See, this is where I identify with Christina, right? What do you do with that? What would you do? Would you come out and say, she said that I got all my teeth pulled out and I did not get all my teeth pulled out? Or do you look insane? Like it was this, it was so weird. But her subscribers, they bought it hook, line, and sinker. They bought it hook, line, and sinker. Again, I didn't respond. I just didn't respond. I laughed because I was like, she is certifiably insane. I laughed, but Christina, it is a bizarre position to be in. And here's where me and Christina part ways. She had a professional psychologist, a woman that had 300,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel. She had 2 people trying to put her in prison. Nobody tried to put me in jail. I'm sorry, Christina. Your situation is 100 times worse than mine. But I definitely get that part of what is happening here? What is wrong with this woman? Right? I get that. That was so bizarre. And no one was trying to put me in jail. Nobody was causing me to have to go spend my money on attorneys. No, nobody was doing that to me. So, excuse me, kitten mittens. If you want to be a part of the Creepy Girls Club and you want to stand in protection of the behemoth that is Lauren and John Matthias against a woman who didn't do anything. Nobody knows. All she did was tell the truth. Then you go right ahead and do that, kitten mittens. I won't do that because I remember what it was like sitting and watching Trisha talking to this crazy heifer and people just going, oh, that Jules, what an animal she is. What a horrible person to do that to you. Oh, wait. I couldn't believe it. So I'm not going to do that with Kresha. I'm not going to do that with Christina and Lindsay and everything. I'm not going to do that. When I can sit down and I can watch a police body cam and I can watch one of my colleagues, a fellow licensed psychologist, someone that I know what his training is, because 2 people come out of APA accredited programs, but they're on different ends of the country. Never mind. We were trained the same exact standards. That's what it means to be in an accredited program. When I sat there and watched him try to convince a law officer to arrest this woman who did nothing but tell the truth, that was a weird day at Jules' house. And I said, damn, John Matthias, you are not honoring your licensing code. I still am horrified that this clown would put his license on the line, try to convince an officer of the law to fabricate charges against a woman who was looking at 25 years in prison. You think that that's the actions of a professional psychologist? Really? Sorry, Kitten Mittens, you're on the wrong side of this in a huge way. I know, I get it. You like your channel affiliations. I know you like your friend group. You enjoy those creators. I get it. Do you have empathy? Do you have the slightest ability to put yourself into the shoes of a young woman who is having a monster like a licensed psychologist and a lady with a YouTube channel with 300,000 subscribers, that level of influence, and they are trying to convince a police officer to arrest your ass, Kitten Mittens? They're making up lies about you, Kitten Mittens. On that day, you'll be really glad for me. You'll be really, really glad for the likes of Hella, Dolly, Jolene, Everyday with Jay. You'll be really glad that there'll be people that don't go with the crowd, that there will be people that stand up with integrity to call out BS when it's happening right in front of them. And Trisha is exploiting the tragedy of a family for her own selfish means. She and Stacy have declared that Daryl died because of cyber bullies.
At Facebook and said if he dies, he didn't do it by his own hand.
Oh,
it was by
my
these people.
Oh my. So Daryl makes a post on his Facebook and says, just like the girl that, was forced to have sex with Prince Andrew, if something happens to me, I didn't do it. I'm not suicidal. I'm a happy person. I like my life. Daryl Sheets literally posted that several weeks ago on his Facebook page. If something happens to me, I did not do it. But Trisha, the great Websleuther, she says, the cyber bullies, they killed Daryl. Those old cyber bullies. Do you think that man who was about 6'4", probably 270 pounds, who walked around the set like this, he was Mr. Macho Machismo. Strong guy, big, powerful dude. You think he's sitting around crying about people making fun of him on the internet, that he would leave a post that says, if something happens to me, you better look at my trolls. My trolls killed me. That's what you think? Or do you think it's more like the young woman who got run over by a bus 3 days before she died, who had Prince Andrew in her crosshairs? Okay, Trisha, duh. No one ever accused you of being brilliant. You've been called cute. You've been called charming, amusing, entertaining, silly. Not brilliant.
Anyway, so I'm digging into it, and there is Oh my gosh, you guys, there is so much good information about cyberbullying when it comes to kids, because those are the ones that are really in danger of harming themselves. And they're the ones that are just get horribly cyberbullied at school. I mean, it's not your normal teasing. It's relentless. And now with the internet and kids have power to do these horrible things to each other, it's terrible. And so there are a lot of stories and resources for kids, which is great.
Isn't that interesting that Trisha just called Lauren Matthias and Duty Ron children? Isn't that interesting? Why do I say that? Because Lauren Matthias went around to people she was aligned with that had giant channels. But isn't that what a bully does? In the bully, the guy that runs in a pack and they find one person that's really not capable of defending themselves against this pack. It's what Lauren did, isn't it? Your queen. And so, Duty Ron, your little friend here, what does she call herself? What is that she calls herself? Old hag in a hat. What's her name? Old bat in a hat. Trisha. Nobody's ever talked to you about self-esteem. Nobody's ever talked to you about how important it is for good mental health for you to have awareness of what your talents and your skills and your strengths are. That if you don't have an accurate view of who you are and feel proud of who you are, then you are more likely to stoop to activities that a bully would do. You're much more likely to hurt other people for exploitative reasons. I mean, that's what makes a bully do what they do, right? A bully does what they do. Hurt people. Isn't that what you said, Trisha? But I don't suppose in your calculus, I don't suppose that Lauren Matthias with her 330,000 subscribers and receipts for what she did say and do, and Duty Ron with his hundreds of thousands of subscribers, Trisha with her 50,000. Yeah, I don't guess to you in your calculus, that's a bully, is it? When you are trying to save yourself by hiding the truth, by stopping the truth from coming out because you don't want to quit making your millions of dollars. And so what you do is you start reaching out to the creators that you are friends with that have the biggest influence. Duty Ron. Trisha, you're such an expert in cyberbullying. You wouldn't call that the actions of the bully? That when you've got a single woman standing out here who has no presence on YouTube, who's done no content according to true crime, you don't call that the very actions of a bully? Because I damn sure do. Bullies run in packs. Bullies don't choose their equals to go after. Face it, Trisha, this stupid little live you did, this is about you and Lauren Matthias and Duty Ron and Megan. You guys are the bullies. I'm just this one lone person that decided to speak out on integrity and truth, that the things that were said and done to JJ and Tylee's family, the things that were said and done to one person, Christina, who has absolutely no existing reputation with which to stand on in her own defense. I'm just a little guy who decided to take a deep breath and go, you know what? You guys suck, man. You guys are bullies. You suck.
I couldn't find anything about adult cyberbullying other adults.
But you're one of them.
I found like an article or two.
No. You are the epitome of cyberbullying, as is Lauren and Duty, Ron, and the rest, because you guys come together like that. It's not enough that Lauren has 300,000 subscribers. She can go on her own channel in her own defense. That wasn't enough for you guys, was it? No. Hey, I got an idea. Let's reach out to Duty Ron. He's got a huge channel. We'll be able to spread our lies of self-defense to literally 500,000 people. Yeah, that's what we'll do. He'll never know the truth. He doesn't get into the drama. He won't know. You have made some very poor decisions, Trisha, and you are the epitome of cyberbullying. That you're not having people just out of the blue making fun of you. These are people that are holding you accountable for your own actions and your own words. Your words and your actions that hurt people. People that deserve to be protected. I know you're the great and powerful Websleuths, and I know John Matthias is the great and powerful Oz of true crime. And in all of you big brains, big channeled assholes, you didn't stop long enough to think, hey, you know what? Maybe Kay and Larry Woodcock were not in a position to defend themselves. Maybe Kresha wasn't in any kind of physical condition to speak up for what was right. Maybe we just acted like a collective steamroller and thought we were going to crush Christina and maybe get her thrown in prison for 25 years. That would have been a bonus. That would have been a little gravy. You're a bully. Your actions are egregious. But I'm not the one calling you an old bat in a hat. That was your low self-esteem. You're the one who chose that name for you. I didn't do it. Jay didn't do it. Christina didn't do it. Hella didn't do it. Nobody else. You did it. Old bat in a hat. Really? That's where you see yourself, right? I think that's really sad. I think it's really, really sad.
There's a site called cyberbullying.org, and they have a little bit on there, but it's mostly about cyberbullying at work and bullying at work. You know, make sure you keep a journal of everything and report it to HR. No, it seems like nobody is caught up with what's really going on.
Is that right?
And what I found out about Sheets was
his name is Daryl.
The things that were being done to him were just horrific. And we're going to get into a little bit of that as well tonight. But I want to read you a story here from People Magazine. First off.
Look, it is self-serving that Trisha is focusing on cyberbullying. Okay, this is self-serving only. The reality about what was going on with Daryl Sheets is that he was facing criminals. There were criminals that were coming for him, okay, physically on his property, breaking into his home, vandalizing his vehicle, harming his son. Okay, this wasn't cyberbullying, annoying crime. Okay, he was being targeted, gang stalked by actual criminals, right? But that's not convenient. That's not the story. She doesn't give a damn about sheets. Let me tell y'all about sheets. Shut up, Trisha. Do you know how dumb that sounds? At least give the man the dignity of his name, please. His name is Daryl or Daryl Sheets, but calling people by their last name. What are you, a roughneck on a drilling rig? Good God. Of course. Excuse me for forgetting that this is the lady that thought it was just so sweet. It was so kind to send 144 roses to the memorial of a little boy who was murdered by his mother, who thought that she would be queen of the 144,000. They thought it was cute. Wasn't it sweet? Oh, Lauren, you're so brilliant. Thank you for thinking of something so prosaic. 144 roses at JJ's memorial when it was the 144,000 that was the catalyst for his murder by his mother. These women think it's great. It's fine. Nothing to it. They even do like this weird, like little sleepover on the date of the end of the world or the anniversary of the end of the world. She does like a 24-hour live or money, 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 money. They think that's cute. I'm like, are you stupid? Like, really, I'm beginning to think you guys are stupid. I'm beginning to think that you don't stop long enough to think clearly. The last thing on this planet that Kay or Larry or Kresha or anybody that loved JJ and Tylee, the last thing in the world that they want is any kind of homage to the 144,000.
Before I do that, how could I forget? I didn't forget. Let me bring up the one, the only. We call her the insightful one. Stacy, how are you doing tonight, my darling?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Good. And if you are coming here from Websleuths.com, if you went on the front page to Websleuths.com and you saw this video and you went, what the flipping heck? Who's that weirdo? And you clicked on it. Welcome. My name's Trisha Griffith. I'm the manager of Websleuths.com. Hey, that's what people think. They see me and they go, what a weirdo. I wear that hat proudly.
More positive self-esteem, right? Well, you said it, Trisha. Hurt people hurt people. I mean, the way you talk about yourself publicly, you don't need a cyberbully to do it. You don't need another creator to make fun of you or say mean things. You're doing a great job right by yourself. An old bat in a hat and a weirdo. Why do you think that you've got to have a cyberbully when you are doing the job? Hurt people hurt people.
With my cowboy hat.
That just reminds me of the first time I talked with you. You basically said the same thing.
I did. What didn't I tell you I was a weirdo or something like that?
You said, I know the owner and she's crazy.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Because you were having trouble getting on Websleuths.com. And I said, don't worry. I know the owner. She's crazy, but I know her. But anyway, welcome. If
she's a grifter too. When are you going to add that to your autobiographical description of who you are? Old bat in a hat, crazy heifer, class A grifter. I think you ought to add it.
you are here from Websleuths.com, our wonderful
cyber bully
genius phrase has made it so if you go to websleuths.com, we can post a video right there on the front page, and you can see what our topic's going to be about tonight.
Mother of a creepy dog that seems to have a sex fetish. That applies. Just go over to Everyday with Jay. There's a video. This big dog that has no manners, that's just like rolling over her. She has no control of him, none whatsoever. This big dog is literally like attempting to sexually assault the little dog who's really, really old. And Trisha's just not even doing anything about it. But the old dog is like moving from side to side, has the saddest look on his face. And this big dog I'm telling you what, either he and I would come to an understanding or he'd be going to find another house because no. And I thought, gross, what's wrong with this dog? Take him to the vet, get some hormone therapy. What is wrong? Is he not fixed? Why does your dog try to rape a little old dog? That is not normal, Trisha.
And you can also go right to the discussion thread from websleuths.com about Daryl Sheets. And we have some great posts that are being made on that discussion. But People Magazine, this was the first article I read. And it says, Storage Wars, Renee Nizota reacts to co-star Daryl Sheets' death, urges action against cyberbullies who tormented him. Okay. Now, this co-star, again, I didn't watch Storage Wars. I know the general theme of it, but I don't know any of these people. Renee Zahota.
We have the defender of the bullied. Look right here. The defender of the bullied. Listen to this. Now, those of you that watch my channel, you know that we're like a modern day Noah's Ark around my house, right? Like it's silly how many animals have come here to be rescued and are rescued. And they're given plush, beautiful places to live. And they have manners because they're just like kids. Animals and kids need to have boundaries established for them. You need to show them your expectations for their behavior, and then they will do what you're asking them to do. It's just reality. But the defender of the bullied of how many people exactly? You think you have to join force with Laura Matthias and Duty Ron and Megan and Trisha? You think you guys need to get that many people together to defend against little old Christina? Really? You may be the member of a cult if you think that you're defending bullies that have over 600,000 collective subscribers. Yeah, you're in the wrong place, honey.
Is speaking out following the death of his Storage Wars co-star, Daryl Sheets, who was found dead at age 67 in Havasu City from apparent suicide on Wednesday. In an Instagram video shared after the news broke, he reflected on their relationship, clarifying their on-screen rivalry didn't reflect the real-life bond. This was not an easy video to shoot. Unfortunately, Daryl Sheets took his own life, so he passed away. Nizzato began. I know a lot of you guys think we hated each other because we competed a lot on the show. And, we had our moments. We had our run-ins because we were both competitors, right? We both.
Do you know this belief that something that would drive a 67-year-old man to end his own life is a single issue? It was just cyberbullying. That has no basis in reality at all. And it is Trisha who was using this man's tragic death for her own means. She thinks she has a platform to stand on, when really it's just, well, in truth, it's more of the same. And, you know, when I say that it is more of the same,
Trisha the grifter strutting down round Beth B's yard.
it's the same. It's the same. A guy dies who's having a lot of issues in the past few years. And she says, yeah, that's what I can do. I can use it. I'll get Sheets' death to spank these people that are standing up in defense of JJ and Tylee's family, standing up in defense of Christina. Listen, Christina, hey, defender of the bullied, you want to know who you need to be standing up for? You looking at her, Christina. That's who needs you, if that's who you really are. Oh man, I'm pissed.
We both loved competition with the biggest threat out there. Despite their competitive natures, he emphasized they maintained a friendship over the years. So deep down, me and Daryl were friends. We talked every now and then, he explained. He was a very hard worker that cared more about anyone I've ever met, about their family, about his son, about Zoe, his granddaughter, pretty much all of the people in his life. Now, Nazota also alleged that Sheets had been dealing with cyberbullying prior to his death and used the moment to call for accountability. Rest in peace.
Oh, okay. But when Storage Wars, when they cut his money from $30,000 per episode, doing 26 episodes a season, they cut it back to $15,000 per episode, 4 episodes per season. That did not drive him to suicide. No, what drove him to suicide was a bunch of old ladies online holding him accountable for, you know, every time he said or did something that wasn't okay. That's what this heifer wants you to believe. Never mind the fact that these criminals beat his son nearly to death. Oh, don't worry about that. That was cyberbullying, don't you know? You're exploiting the death of a man with no knowledge of what was going on in his life, Trisha. And the reason you're exploiting him is because you think it gives you a weapon for those that are speaking out, asking for accountability from your big ass bully system.
Daryl Sheets. Also, I know Daryl would not want something positive out of this. So he had a guy that was really, really tormenting him lately. Cyberbullying, he said. He went on to stress that viewers didn't truly know reality stars beyond what's shown on screen. Guys, just because you watch us on television doesn't mean you know us, Nazota continued. It doesn't mean you know what we're about. Also, it doesn't entitle you to bully somebody. That's not just us. That's anybody. That's an athlete. You shouldn't cyberbully at all. Now, he broadened his message, urging people to intervene when
urging people to intervene, which is what you saw happen when Lauren Matthias went after Christina and Lindsay and all of that group. You saw people step forward to speak up for what was right. We were not going to stand back in fear while the likes of John and Lauren Matthias, Duty Ron, Trisha, Megan, we were not going to stand back and watch it happen. It would have been a completely different situation if Lauren had come out and said, I don't know why they're saying these things about me. I never said that about Kresha. I never did that. to Kay or Larry. I never treated Colby that way. Those things didn't happen. I didn't target Colby. She never defended herself. Never. She knew that there were receipts out there that would prove the truth. That's why you never heard her deny it. The bully squad, they attacked Christina's person. They offended Kresha personally to rob them of credibility. Have any of you defenders of the bullied, have any of you stopped long enough to ask yourself, why is John Matthias trying to convince a police officer to arrest a woman when the police officer is saying, sir, there's been no laws broken? Why does he just keep harping on it and keep on? Give me a piece of paper. I need a signature. I need something signed. Why? Did any of you ever ask yourselves that question ever? It was only about credibility. It was only about robbing from Christina anything that would make her story credible, because they knew that there were receipts out there that her story was true. All of it. All of it's true. Even screwing a detective.
They see harmful behavior. As a matter of fact, if you have somebody in your life that thinks it's funny to cyberbully other people, may that be a celebrity, athlete, or little girl at school, slap them in the back of the head, make them become a better human being.
Oh, is that
You want
right?
to emphasize.
Did y'all hear what she just said? We got to listen to that again for posterity. You are the gift that keeps on giving, Trisha.
These stars beyond what's shown on screen. Guys, just because you watch us on television doesn't mean you know us, Nizota continued. It doesn't mean you know what we're about. Also, it doesn't entitle you to bully somebody. That's not just us. That's anybody. That's an athlete. You shouldn't cyberbully at all. Now, he broadened his message.
You know what else you shouldn't cyberbully, Trisha? You shouldn't cyberbully a woman that doesn't have a single subscriber. She doesn't have a single video. She has no influence, social media influence, other than her business page, who never said Lauren or John's names. Never. In fact, if Lauren hadn't done what she did, nobody would have even known that that information was even about her. More important than you shouldn't bully professional athletes. You shouldn't bully famous singers and actors and actresses. You shouldn't bully big name famous YouTubers like Lauren Matthias. So interesting that that's the group of people that you're choosing to white knight for. People that are already powerful, people that already have reputation, people that already have finances to hire attorneys. That's who you're standing up for. You know what? Defend the bullied. You know who I'm going to stand up for? The one lone YouTube subscriber that no one even knows anything about her. That's who I'm going to stand up for. You guys have behaved so badly.
Urging people to intervene when they see harmful behavior. As a matter of fact, if you have somebody in your life that thinks it's funny to cyberbully other people, may that be a celebrity, athlete, or little girl at school, slap them in the back of the head, make them become
a little girl at school slap her in the back of the head. I'm just a little bit curious. The white knighter that got all out of shape because I called the grapist dog weird. Are you having any trouble with this? Does it bother you at all that Trisha is saying, if it's a little girl at school, slap her on the back of the head? Anybody bothered by that at all? Just curious what you stand for. You know what I mean? Oh, I know what the answer is. Don't worry. You don't have to be publicly accountable. I know what your answer is. It's just horrible that you called that dog weird. Do you care about the elderly dog that is the focus of the bad behavior? Or do we only care about the weird dog who is assaulting the elderly dog? You know, I can't fit in with your group because I don't understand you guys at all. It's strange that you are supposedly a dog lover to the tune that you get so traumatized because I called a dog weird. But you sat and watched the video. You saw the dog assaulting the old dog. You saw Trisha oblivious to the impending rape on her sofa that she's sitting on. You weren't upset by that? Weird business, man.
a better human being. He went on to emphasize the unseen struggles people may face and highly encouraged authorities to investigate. You never know what demons somebody faces and what they go through and what you might push them through, he concluded. Daryl has been posting a lot about the guy that has been cyberbullying and torturing him. And I really hope they look into that guy. And that's just not, and really hope this doesn't make sense. And I really hope they look into that guy, and that's just not a pass. It's just not right. Be better. Now, his post comes hours after news broke that Sheets' body was discovered. In a press release, the Lake Havasu City Police Department said officers responded to a reported deceased individual around 2 a.m. local time. Anyway, and that's pretty much it. I'll put the link in chat to this article. But Stacy, you have a Facebook post that he made, that Sheets made. What was it? February 11th, Facebook.
Daryl Sheets, March 11th. Well, people, here is my cyberbully stalker, just letting people know if anything happens to me, this is him. And then I'm not reading the names. And then he goes, and hundreds of spoof numbers, Google numbers, a page called blank, and which is a page like making fun of Daryl's business. And he has been going after other small businesses in town and harassing them using my name.
Oh, going after other people, not just Daryl. Okay.
Cyberbullying pushed him to this point in his life. They need to bring charges. They do.
Just to clarify, what he says is, if anything happens to me, this is him. It says this him, but meaning
Okay.
this is him. So he doesn't exactly say, I didn't do it. I'd just make that clear.
Yeah, he's saying something happens to me, this is him. In other words, check him out is what he's saying. Okay,
Right.
I see what you're saying. Gotcha. Okay. So, and again, guys, I never thought in my lifetime I'd have to be talking to you about cyberbullying
Really?
by adults.
I find that incredibly interesting, Trisha, because you've engaged in cyberbullying. I think it's fascinating that you didn't think about it or that you wouldn't be talking to people because you've actually done it. How do you explain that, Trisha? Oh, I know, because your self-concept is one that doesn't allow you to really consider your own culpability in anything. After all, you're the old bat in a hat, aren't you? The weirdo, I think you said.
Adults, it's so ridiculous. But one thing Stacy and I were talking about, and we found through our research, and I've asked a couple of experts to come on. I haven't heard back from them. Hopefully they will. But one thing that is common among all bullies, even if they're like teenagers or adults, they're mentally ill. They're mentally ill.
Is that right?
They have very deep issues about.
They're mentally ill. They have very deep issues. Then how exactly do you explain John Matthias trying to influence a law officer to bring charges against an individual who poses no threat at all other than she knows the truth? How do you explain that? Is he mentally ill? How deep exactly does John Matthias's problems run? I mean, he named his YouTube channel Hidden. His LLC is Hidden. You know, Trisha, maybe I need to sit back and be quiet and let you talk. You're making my case.
Insecurity, and especially adults, they don't have the empathy, frontal lobe issue. They have an issue.
Hey, you know what? If we could come up with 5 instances of Christina targeting my lovely wife, that would put her away for 25 years. No one would ever believe Christina if she got 25 years in the clink. Is that the kind of no empathy you're referring to, Trisha? I'm just curious. I'm just trying to figure out the rules that your little group of friends play by. 25 years he got excited about putting an innocent woman in prison. 25 years. For what reason, Trisha? So that his YouTube coin was not interrupted. And listen, defender of the bullied, you don't have to take my word for it. There is police body cam easily available. You can go watch it yourself, but you won't because you're in a cult. You've given up free thought in favor of being a part of the weird girls group.
With their frontal lobes, they don't have the empathy, because if they did, they would not cyberbully, because they would know how horrible it is. And cyberbullying, it can mean a lot of things. All right.
Happy Saturday,
anything on
Jamie.
the internet. It could be emails sent to somebody saying horrible things. It could be something on Reddit, because Reddit allows cyberbullying. I see it all the time. It could be, there's YouTube videos that are, YouTube is full of cyberbullies and they don't do anything about it. And, again.
Okay. To be clear, okay, is cyberbullying the same as accountability, right? So bullying, traditionally, bullying is something that's like personal, right? It's where you take an innocent, a person who's not done anything, hurt anybody, done anything wrong, and you find something with which to target them. I would say that Trisha calling herself the old bat in a hat, that is bullying. She's bullying herself. She's drawing attention to her age, and she's using the very unflattering moniker bat. And she's wearing this hat, this cowboy or rancher's hat or whatever. And so she comes up with this name for like nickname. There's even a song that one of her friends wrote. That's kind of weird because I don't write songs like that about my friends. I just would never call a fellow wise and seasoned woman an old bat. Never. Whether I'm old or young has nothing to do with if or not I have integrity or empathy or honesty. If you say someone is an old bat in a hat, you are bullying them. It's bullying. What are you going to hold somebody accountable for? Bad fashion choices? No, it's bullying. It has no purpose. There's no rhyme or reason. But in accountability, there's a person who's engaged in bad behavior. Either they've lied about somebody, or they've tricked somebody, they've humiliated them, they've beat them up, they've stolen from them, they've stolen their estate in a court of law. And people then call that out and say, whoa, 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 whoa. This woman dies in the hospital bed, and the first thing you do is you steal her phone and her purse. And now there's people looking for that phone, but I put it in a Faraday bag so it can't be tracked. Trisha, defender of the bullied. Are you paying attention to your queen? That needs to go to the police. Putting it in a Faraday bag, you are intentionally interfering with the law. It beats anything I've ever seen. And then you've got some clown like defender of the bullied. You've got this little clown coming in this channel going, oh, what a horrible person. You called a dog weird. Cujo was weird. Spare me your bullshit virtue signaling. I ain't got time for that. Nobody has time for that. Do you know what happens when people are accountable? When they've done something hurtful, when they've done something unethical or unmoral, do you know what happens, defender of the bullied? Do you know what happened when people stand up and say, you know what I did? I lied about Christina. I am sorry. Do you know what happens at that point? Do you know what happens when Lauren stands up and says, I did say unkind things about Crusha and her family. That was wrong of me to do. I will never do that again to another crime victim's family. Do you know what happens? People say thank you. That's what happens. That a genuine apology after someone engaged in very bad behavior, that the normal expected reaction of healthy people, they say, thank you. I accept your apology. Thank you. I don't have any reason to keep exposing you. Thank you for caring about this family that has already lost so much that it's just impossible to even imagine it. When you apologize for your bad behavior, when you are accountable, people no longer feel a need to stand up for those that have been wronged. And you know what? Defender of the bullied, kittens, mittens. You go ahead and keep on defending the rapist dog. I'm going to feel really bad for the elderly old dog that can't defend himself, and neither is his old bat in a hat defending him. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stand up for reality. You can stand up for whatever virtue signaling bullshit in the moment you think makes you look good. But me, I tend to favor reality. That's I like the truth.
It can be relentless. And just imagine the only way I can describe it is, I guess, in reality, let's say you get up and you go outside and there's just a group of people around you screaming at you. You're an idiot. You look stupid. Oh, wow. You're a dumbass, just screaming at you wherever you go. That's what it's like to be cyberbullied on the internet. Everywhere you go, those voices are screaming at you and throwing things at you. And that's what was happening to him.
And that's what happened to me. And you were a part of it with your friend that you invited on your platform 5-7 years ago. You didn't care about it then. You were happy to be a part of that. And to Duty Ron's credit, he did not take the invitation to bully me on his platform. To his credit, and Duty Ron, I appreciate that, and I remember it all the time. And thank you.
So he claims this guy, showed up at his shop and caused problems at his shop. And the things I've been reading about what he went through was horrific. And again, I don't know if he called the police. I don't know if he filed any complaints with the police. Maybe the police had never.
You don't know anything, but because you needed a weapon to manipulate your subscribers and call other people cyberbullies, this was your game. Hell yeah. Daryl Sheets died. We're going to use him to make everybody else look like cyberbullies. We're going to go after Hella. We're going to go after Everyday with Jay. We're going to go after Cresho. We're going to go after Jules of Thought. We're going to go after everybody. Penny Dreadful. We're going to go after everybody. Make people's emotional reactions to Daryl Sheets dying. We'll manipulate our subscribers and hold Jules of Thought responsible for Daryl's death. Man, Trisha, you're gross, man.
Yeah. Just out of the blue, you start cyberbullying somebody because maybe they're famous, like Daryl Sheets. He's on.
She still doesn't get
very
it, does
popular.
She's still so focused in on, because I'm famous, I'm going to be cyberbullied. No, you guys bullied Christina because she was not famous. You guys targeted her to silence her so that the famous one could keep her illusion in place. You know what, Trisha? Your subscribers may not be smart enough to hear you talk and figure out what you're saying, but there's a lot of us that are smart enough. And you are revealing yourself.
TV show, and somebody decides, oh, I'm just going to make his life hell. It makes them feel powerful because they're sick and mentally ill. And then they feel they have this power over you. Okay. And
boy, she knows
they
so
have
much.
some very, very pathetic, twisted lives. And again, that's not me saying that.
I do believe she just called people names. I think she just made it like very personal. She's diagnosing people online. Defender of the bullied. Are you outraged by that? How dare she call me or Everyday with Jay or Hella or Penny Dreadful or Jolene Lunzer? How dare she say that we are insane? Do you support that, defender of the bullied? Do you like that? You okay with that?
That's just the little bit of research I've done about adult cyberbullies. And I was trying to think of a good definition of a cyberbully.
Oh, now
because
she's so
have
great.
You and I cyberbully?
She has such a level of intellectual excellence that she is going to come up with a definition to be added to the damn dictionary, right? I can't wait for this.
I hope not, but maybe we have without even realizing it, by going on and saying something really rude. I said something really rude once about somebody's voice, and it was it was a VJ on MTV. And I posted it like on their website. And I'm not even going to say what I said because it was so rude and it was so mean. And to me, that was cyberbullying. I didn't need to be rude and mean. I could just say I didn't like their voice.
You just called me insane. And you called yourself an old bat in a hat. I'm thinking making a comment about somebody's voice is probably not the worst thing that you've ever said. But while we're talking about it, Trisha, here's a question. Why did you need to comment on their voice? What was the purpose of saying, I don't like their voice? Even if you say it in the sweetest, kindest words that people from Utah use, why did you need to even point that out? Because, if we're going to be honest here, Trisha, there's a lot of things about you that I don't like. I don't like your hair. Your hair kind of freaks me out. I don't like that scarf wrapped around your neck because you don't really have much of a neck and you just look like you're all crunched up like that. You know what I mean? I have a hard time listening to you for very long at a time because, you're just always telling everybody about all your problems that are always related to money that you don't ever seem to have. I'm a little bit bothered that you spent a dead lady's money for your backdrop. I mean, you did. You said a lot of times that we could thank Beth B for your backdrop, but you didn't get your backdrop until Beth B was already dead and in the ground by months. I don't like the old clothes that you wear. Oh, I know they look new to everybody, because they once belonged to a lady that was, a professional and executive. And those clothes that you're wearing, they're exactly what we wore back in like the 90s and 2000s if we were professional women. But you're wearing it like it's up to style today. You're literally right now, you're wearing John Travolta's Saturday Night Fever outfit, uniform. You think it looks new to everybody because you got filters on. But that outfit, it's old.
Need to say the horrible thing that I did. And I will never forget that. That was, 45 years ago. And, oh no, it wasn't because the internet wasn't there.
Oh, she just caught herself in a lie. I knew that 45 years ago. I posted that ugly, hateful comment online 45 years ago. Golly, 45 years ago? That would be like in the early 80s, 70s. What were you doing in the 1980s? I was going to Bob Seger concerts. Trisha, stop your nonsense. Quit manipulating your subscribers and for God's sake, quit spending their money.
Because I did it on the internet. So, 30 years ago maybe. But I'll never forget it. So you can criticize people, especially if they're in the public spotlight. Absolutely. You can say you don't like what they're saying. You can say you don't like what they're wearing. You can criticize them and be very critical. But when it becomes where you're trying to laugh at them and make them look stupid and just to try and tear them down.
Those people are insane. Those people are crazy. those people feel bad about themselves. Lady, not only are you trying to tear us down, you're doing a great job bullying yourself with the whole old bat in a hat. I mean, I just think bullying and grifting is just a way of life for you. You're just so used to it, you can't even recognize when you're doing it to other people. And I personally think that is very sad.
Then it's a problem. And then, of course, you have the people that literally just make up. From what I can gather, this guy was making stuff up about Daryl Sheets. These cyberbullies were just making just lies up about him, you know. And it's really hard when somebody makes up a lie about you.
Ooh, here is not a lie. Clock that, defender of the bullied. This story was told by your queen, Trisha. All right. She went to an ENT, ear, nose, and throat specialist when she was younger. And she was having trouble with like deviated septum. And when the doctor looked up her nose to like do an evaluation and assessment, see what was going on, why she was having the symptoms that she was having, the first words out of the doctor's mouth was, "Whoa, how much cocaine have you done?" Now you see, I'm not being dishonest. I'm not making up terrible stories just to try to make Trisha look bad. All I did was just repeat her story of her history. I am horrified that she calls herself an old bat in a hat. And I am terrified that her judgment led her to a place that she thought that it was an amusing tale to have a specialist look up her nose and say, "Wow, how much cocaine have you done?" Like, Trisha, are you thinking? Why would you even tell that story? Why would you call yourself an old bat in the hat? Why would you find it amusing when one of your friends does an AI music, like a song, where they call you a bat in the hat in the song, and you say, "This is going to be my new channel theme"? Like, I'm struggling to understand you. You know, my 2 videos from yesterday where I said, "Help me understand," I meant it. It was about Megan, but today, this video needs to be named, "Help me understand Websleuths." I would be having a conversation with hybrid Pisces if she said, "Hey, I wrote you a song. If you like it, we'll use it as a theme song for the channel." And it was like, what? Let me think of something that would be really unflattering. Dr. Jules and her 3002 wrinkles. Not cute. Not cute. Hybrid, I'm holding you accountable, sister. Okay. No, we're not going to even do a song that says Dr. Jowls. I don't have jowls anymore because I lost weight. But Dr. Jowls and her 3000 wrinkles. Trisha, no. No, that is not being humble. That is not being having a good, sense of humor. It's offensive. Please, please stop calling yourself an old bat in a hat. Please. I spend a lot of time trying to build women up that to age, to have wrinkles, those are our badges of honor. Every new wrinkle that we get stands testament to another challenge that we survived and triumphed over. Be proud of who you are as you age. You got lots of wisdom. You may not have an hourglass figure like the young women, but you know what you do have? You have more wisdom and more money, right? Be proud of who you are at any stage of life, any stage. The trick is to know who you are and be able to identify your strengths, your skills, the things that you like and enjoy. That is what defines you. Your age does not define you. Your wrinkles does not define you. And unless you're Marilyn Monroe, your appearance doesn't define you either. It's not nice, Trisha, to call yourself or anyone else an old bat. It's not nice. It's not okay. It's not funny. It's not cute. It's just personal and mean.
All day and all night. But when you step over that line to try and harm them by saying horrible, mean things about them and things that aren't true, but again, the problem is when there's cyberbullies out there that are making stuff up, they're not going to admit they're making it up. They're not going to admit it. And that's the problem. And again, the laws need to be
Me neither, Christina.
So changed.
No way. No way. Given my choice to be right where I am right now, my age, all my wrinkles, or to go back to, when I was a little hottie, right? No, not even, I wouldn't even consider it. I love my life. I love how aging has changed me and changed my life. I embrace it. And I had a good time when I was young. We had fun. But to give up all of how life is easy now, how there's not all this drama and problem solving. Yeah, no, I wouldn't. Yeah, well said, Christina. Well said. Absolutely. Kelly, it's a trip.
There's, as I've learned recently,
Here comes Stacy.
there's a lot of laws that can be used that people don't realize.
Oh, this is rich. You see, John Matthias is really sorry that he missed being a part of this conversation. He wanted to be a part of this conversation because what Christina, or I'm sorry, don't kill me, Christina. I didn't mean that. Because what Stacy Ribbit is about to do is basically engage in law enforcement 101 per the John Matthiases of the world. She is about to be manipulative. These people don't care about the law. They bastardize the laws. Listen to this.
Oh, he was 67. So it's can be considered, according to a lawyer, elder abuse.
Oh, that's a good idea. If you're being cyber.
Elder abuse. That's the ticket. If my cyber bullies, if they start talking mean to me and I'm geriatric, I'm just going to go to the cops and have my cyber bullies arrested for elder abuse. Well, what's it going to be? Elder abuse is a terrible crime, Trisha. A crime with real victims that bleed and die. You want to try to target people online by claiming wrongly that you've been abused, elder abuse. Do you guys care at all about truth?
We're bullied and you're a senior citizen, that's elder abuse. Absolutely.
Elder
Well,
abuse.
guess
Absolutely.
what, Trisha? You elder abused me because I'm old. I'm an old lady, heifer. You abused me. I'm coming for you, Trisha.
Report it to Adult Protective Services.
Mhm.
Also, if people are reaching out to people in your real life,
Yeah.
that's harassment. What I just say, elder abuse. Got
Yeah.
all these things running through my head.
More?
Also, if somebody is trying to help, say if there's somebody committing fraud, false reporting,
Mhm.
you know, and then people are helping, like calling. If
What
somebody
did
calls
you
me,
say? Did you say fraud? Trisha, I think she's talking about you, honey. Is she talking about you? I don't know. Maybe. Let's listen.
it's a false report, and
Right.
then somebody else calls to,
What?
you know,
Why did you quit looking up? What happened here, Trisha? Like suddenly you have the look of shame. You know what I mean? You're looking down. You're not making eye contact with the camera anymore. What were you thinking? What was going through your head? Shut up, Stacy. Is that what went through your mind?
to Adult Protective Services.
Mhm.
Also, if people are reaching out to people in your real life,
Yeah.
that's harassment. What I just say, elder abuse. Got
Yeah.
all these things running through my head. Also, if somebody is trying to help, say if there's somebody committing fraud, false reporting,
Mhm.
you know, and then people are helping.
That is so funny. Her reaction is hilarious. She looks like she's actually mad at Stacy. That is great.
Committing fraud, false reporting,
Look at her.
Mhm.
you know, and then people are helping, like
Like,
calling.
really,
If somebody calls,
Stacy?
makes a false report,
You went
and then
there?
somebody else calls to, you know, do the same thing,
Look
to kind
at
of, it's conspiracy, like let's all do this, you know, that could be considered what, aiding and abetting, what,
Oh,
a
sure.
fraud.
There's
And
all kinds of things.
there's
Exactly.
so many things.
There's so many things. And again, it's not
So we have Megan threatening to sue all the beautiful people, beautiful humans. I'm sorry. Megan is threatening to sue the beautiful humans because it's her fucking channel. Okay. And Trisha and Stacy, they just got all kinds of things that they're going to do to the people who are asking for accountability. The people that are the real bullies going after people that have no way of defending themselves. I'm with you. Hey, I can work with this. If you want to be included in a suit against Lauren and John Matthias, including all of you guys, and this is aiding and abetting attempted murder of Christina, I'm good. I can work with that. How you feeling about that, Christina? Elderly abuse? They came for me. I'm an old lady. Let's get them for elderly abuse. Conspiracy to commit elderly abuse. Keep talking, Stacy.
you're not free to do whatever you want to somebody.
Is
You're
that
not free to
true?
tear them apart and, like you said,
Whoa.
to make false reports about him. I
Yeah.
don't know if this guy that was cyberbullying him, called and made false reports. I read somewhere that he did. I don't
Yeah.
know what.
But you know what was in Daryl Sheets' mind when he decided to end his life. You have no idea. It was because there's a bunch of bitches online that are giving Daryl a hard time by making him own up to his behavior. Right? That's the whole point of this, isn't it, Trisha? You don't know anything about that man. You probably didn't even know about what happened to his contract and what happened to his son, or about his son being beat black and blue. You probably didn't know anything about it. Here's another question, Trisha. 67-year-old Daryl Sheets, did he have cancer? Was he told that there was no more treatment that could be done? And maybe he decided he wanted to end his life his way? Because that's pretty common. You have no idea why that man did what he did. And the fact that you made a decision to exploit his misery and make it a tool. Don't look, God's watching you.
But they were.
Everything.
But yeah, you can't do stuff like that. You just can't, like I said, you just can't call and make an accusation. And Brooker Rose says he did file a police report. I saw some articles that said that.
Now, I want y'all to know your queen, your brilliant queen that you will follow to the ends of earth, because she's so brilliant and has so much integrity and she is so honest. Look at that woman's name. How would you pronounce it? Did you know, according to your queen, Trisha, that woman's name is Brooker O's. You chose her, not me.
February. And Four Sons' mom says YouTube is swarming with cyberbullies and YouTube takes no action against them. It's hard to understand YouTube allowing creators to behave this way. I agree.
How did you feel exactly about Lauren Matthias's 9-hour live where she proceeded to absolutely annihilate some lady named Christina? We didn't even know who she was talking about. Nobody knew who in the hell she was talking about. But she called Christina a stalker, and stalking is an absolute crime, and therefore she slandered Christina. 9 hours on a YouTube channel with 300,000 subscribers. And if that wasn't enough, she went over to Old Duty Ron's channel and slandered Christina some more. Y'all okay with that, aren't you? Y'all have a weird way of looking at the world, I can tell you.
I have seen some cyberbullying by creators. I have no idea who they are, and they're cyberbullying other creators or just people that I've never even heard of, you know. And I'm
you
watching
actually
this going
did
like,
do that to me. Interestingly enough, you invited another creator onto your channel. You let her tell terrible lies about me, and not once, not a single time did you reach out for my side of the story. Not at all. But you went on and on about what a bad person I was, how terrible for me to do those things. And you're the one that ended up looking stupid because I didn't do a single thing that woman said. So much so that she had subscribers and mods jumping ship to tell the truth. But you made your choice based on channel size. I had no subscribers. She had about 50,000 subscribers, and that was good enough for old Trisha the grifter.
God, how can they say these things and get away? This is against YouTube's policies. YouTube does nothing. They do nothing.
Yeah. You platformed Lauren as Lauren is saying that Christina is a criminal. You didn't even care about the truth, did you? You want to know how I know, Trisha, that you don't care about the truth? Because there is police body cam that makes it very clear exactly what it was that Grayson, Lauren, and John Matthias were up to. You can see it on police body cam. The reason that you have not shown not a single one of those body cams, not one. The reason you haven't shown them is because you watched them and you said, oh God, this makes Lauren look really bad. Makes John Matthias look even worse. And you have made your choice on your cult. You're not going to push back against someone who's got 300,000 subscribers. Talking big, talking big.
They do nothing because the one that I saw, I reported it, and I reported the next one, and I had other people report it. They were cyberbullying somebody I'd never heard of, but it was horrible what they were saying about this person, and it absolutely was cyberbullying. It's
what that does also is when you see somebody doing that, that says something about them, not the person.
Oh, absolutely.
About. And that shows that they have an issue, because in life, there's a lot of people we don't like, we don't agree with for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But going on the attack, making stuff up, trying to cause problems in their life, that's a completely different reaction than what a normal person would have.
How about going on the attack, slandering a young woman, trying to have her put in prison for 25 years for what reason? To hide what she literally said. Lauren did say those things. Lauren did do those things. The receipts are there, and a lot of people have seen the receipts. And Lauren and John were trying to keep their reputation intact. They were trying to keep the money machine going. You're okay with that, Stacy? You're okay with sacrificing a woman to 25 years of prison when she literally did not break the law? She did not do what Lauren Matthias said. A judge told Lauren right before the 9-hour live, you do not get to use the courtroom. You do not get to use a judge's order to stop someone else's retelling of the facts of truth. And that was the moment that Lauren said, okay, I withdraw. I don't want all this going out because then Christina's story is going to be told and I know I'm in the wrong. I did everything that Christina has. They have receipts. These people have the proof that I did those things. Not once did Lauren even attempt to say, I never said that. I never did that, because she knew the receipts were out there. The truth was out there. Y'all don't care about that. Why? Why don't you care? That's what I can't understand. So there's a big difference between bullying and accountability. This is accountability, Trisha. This is a group of small creators trying to do the right thing and just stand with the truth. You guys are the ones that circle the wagons with your big, powerful channels, your little cult mentality, and you make up lies, you make up bullshit about small creators that don't have the ability to fight you on even ground. So you know what we did? We said, great. I don't care about my channel grow. I mean, I wish my channel would grow. That would be great, but I am not gonna just give up my integrity. No way. I will. I've seen the truth. I will stand up for the person who's telling the truth. Even if it's one lone person. I do care about the victims of these heinous, horrendous crimes. I will stand with those families 100%. You guys, you're all just big talk. You're all just big talkers. This is all about money for y'all. This is all about just fame and feeling like you're special and you've done something special. There's nothing special about you. You are common, everyday bullies. That's all. Well, thank you. From me, defender of the bullied, thank you for your piece of accountability. Thank you. Because what was done to Kresha, to her family, after the loss of these dear children and this dear brother, uncle, father, being targeted by Lauren Matthias. There are text messages, defender of the bullied. There are text messages from Lauren to John saying, did you contact Colby? You've got to reach out to Colby. You've got to call Colby. And then she starts messaging other people. Hey, my husband is a licensed psychologist. He could help Colby. She was stalking Colby Ryan as this young man's family was wiped completely out by his mother. The only thing that she cared about was the story. She targeted Kay Vallow. I'll never forget the image of Larry on a bench outside the courthouse weeping. Weeping because there was the prosecutors had made a terrible mistake, and it could have meant Lori going free. And they were waiting. The judge cleared the courtroom. The judge was trying to make a decision how to manage this terrible mistake that was made. It was a nightmare. It was a horrible event. And Larry's sitting by himself. Everybody leaving him alone. He's sitting alone on this bench, weeping for JJ. And here comes old Lauren. Got her phone out. Oh, yeah. Got her phone out. She's recording. Oh, we're so worried. We're so worried. I have Larry here. He's crying. He's weeping. He's crying. We're so worried about what happened. We're just the family is so concerned about what the judge is going to do. We don't know what to do. The family is just so upset. You all right with that? You have a little bit of trouble with me calling this poorly behaved dog weird? How you feel about Lauren with her phone targeting Larry, announcing to the entire world that he's on a bench weeping when this little boy that he loved so much. It's all right. It's your business, bully. I'd like to think that I do better than you. I'd like to think that, authenticity, honesty, that matters more than who my friends are or even how many friends I have. So you do what you're going to do, defender of the bullied. But thank you for apologizing to Kresha. Maybe not apologizing to Kresha, but expressing to Kresha that you see that she was treated horribly by these people. And she didn't deserve it. This family didn't deserve any of what they have they've been forced to learn to live with. You know who else didn't deserve it? Christina didn't deserve it. Christina didn't deserve what Lauren and John Matthias did to her. She didn't deserve it. She didn't make up a single lie. Nothing. She didn't deserve what they did to her. That's for certain. All right. Oh, is Junebug ancient teapot? Well, I'm getting sick of Janice's sass. What a horrible creature. I don't know who you are, but I'm glad I don't know who you are. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean? All right. Yeah, work your magic, Cinnamon, and don't just time out. Ban that bitch. Oh, okay, here we go. So, thank you, Defender of the Bullied. Sincerely, thank you. Okay. Yeah, Junebug, let's think about who would look at a name like Junebug and think that that was prosaic. Is this old bat in a hat? June bugs are, they're kind of nasty little creatures, right? Hey, just me. Pray for forgiveness. Yeah, true that. Junebug is Grayson. Grayson, you wicked little creature. What a good name for you. Congratulations for choosing something that fits so well. All right. Yeah, look, Janice is brilliant, and you look like a fool. Like you, Gray Bay, sincerely, girl. You need to go home to your mom and dad. You need to go home and you need to say, I've made some terrible choices in Friends, and I want to do better, and I want to have a happier life. And take your dog with you, please, because Lauren, you can tell she hates that dog. You know what I mean? All right. Paper. Yeah. June bug. Do y'all know what June bugs are? Am I thinking, maybe I'm wrong. Let me do a quick Google. Got to get on the Google and look up June bugs. Aren't June bugs those, oh yeah. Oh, they're so gross. Let's look at what Grayson identifies with. All right, let's see. Share screen. Where is it at? Look at this, ladies. This is the creature that Gray Bay wants to be associated with. And let me tell y'all something about him. I live on the Texas Gulf Coast. We have like a June bug invasion every year. Okay, like they're everywhere. They're a nuisance. Okay, but let me tell you, they are like hard as a rock. Their outer shell, oh my gosh, they are hard as a rock. Look at this insect. Grayson, why, honey? Why do you want this to represent you? Like, I think this is something very interesting that you could share with Dr. Matthias. Maybe he would be interested in why this seemed like a good idea to you. Do you know what I mean? I'm feeling a little worried about you that would be what you would like to be identified with. This is one of my pictures that sort of goes with my name to identify me. It's nice and sparkly. It's gemstones that are in the raw. I mean, it's kind of lovely, right? Or this. I love the kaleidoscope look, and it's so pretty and interesting to watch. And right, that looks like a pretty kind of good representation of, that I would want my name associated with. And with the whole jewels thing, it kind of looks like a diamond, the reflections of the diamond. So I chose this to represent me. Oh, look, here's another thing that I chose as a representation for me, because I live on the ocean. When I wake up in the morning, that's my view. I literally watch the sun come up every morning. I even wrote a song called Rainbow Horizons. What else do I have? Oh, look, there are red gemstones. I just like it. I think it's pretty. Changed it up a little bit with this, but again, it's pretty pleasing to the eye, right? How about this one? Oh, look, this represents me. I like it, very sparkly and shiny. I once had a professor ask me, hey, do you have any clothes that do not have a sequin on them? Okay. This one. Yeah, I like it. It makes me feel happy. It makes me feel good. And let's see what else I have. If I want to be represented, by a picture, then I use my own picture of me, not insects. I just put my face up there to be me. You know what I mean? Well, this isn't me, but it kind of reflects like my long hair and everything. Here's a picture of me. The picture that is, my thumbnail, that's my actual eyeball. So I'm just a little confused, Gray Bay. In what way does this disgusting, nasty insect represent Grayson? What is it? Can you explain it to me? You think that's a bad picture? Well, we could go to a different one. Here's one. This is a Terminex advertisement. That's their representation of Grayson. Here's Grayson eating a leaf. I don't know, Grayson. I'm feeling a little worried about you, sister. Why would you choose that as your visage? I don't know. Inquiring minds and Tinkerbell want to know. All right. I know. I'm a smart aleck. I know that I am. Should I apologize? Nah. Not when it is bona fide, legit bullies by everyone's definition of a bully. I don't feel bad about it. All right. Excited utterance. How are you, Hella? I know. Don't get mad at me, Hella. I sent people to your channel. I said if Daryl, if his son wants to go live and address Trisha exploiting his father's death, so that she could try to be holier than thou and virtuous, that they could come on my channel. They could come on your channel. Sorry. I'm sorry. Go see Cresha. Olaf is here. Olaf would be good. All right. Yes. Yeah. I love the dinner song. Yes. All right. Yeah. Olaf is so funny. I love her music that she puts out. All right. Sub up to Hella. We love Hella. And I am the goat. She is the goat, no doubt. Puffy little hard-shelled pest. I don't know, guys. If the shoe fits, please hit the thumbs up button. Unless you're a little scary hard-shelled insect, then you don't have to do it. You can hit the down button. That'll be good. Please subscribe to my channel. I do not have a regular upload schedule, so if you're subscribed, at least you'll know when I put something new up. And you know what? I didn't even get to Lauren today. But guess what's going to happen tomorrow? I'll be back. Like Arnold. You know what I mean? I'll be back. What kind of song do y'all want to listen to as we leave? I got to tell you, I really, really like Trisha the Grifter. I just like that song. I just think it's a great little song. You know what I mean? Let's do it. Hit the thumbs up unless you're Grayson, then hit the thumbs down, baby.
Trisha the Grifter strutting down round Bev B's yard. Brown loafer heels clicking like she owning it all. She found a lonely old woman. Trisha got a sparkle in her eye. Sweet tea and sympathy, then wave that phone goodbye.
She coos, oh honey, let me help you text your friends.
Next thing you know, that iPhone sliding in her purse and that phone is gone again.
Inheritance check.
Signed, sealed, delivered with a kiss. Trisha's laughing and dreaming about all the way to the bank. Trisha's got that sparkle in her smile, that devil in her stride.
Stealing purses, phones, and bank accounts.
Bonita Stacy's Clyde.
Trisha the Grifter, queen of the con.
Grifting lonely ladies from dusk till dawn.
Phones and fortune, she takes them with glee. Funding her fabulous, ridiculous spree. Gold brooch pin right there on her chest.
Flashing brighter than the lies she tells best.
Trisha the Grifter.
Ooh, what a thief living large on somebody else's money.
Woo!
New fur coat dripping diamonds on her wrist. Attacking John Ramsey, he is at the top of her list. John Bonet, who she tweets with a sneer while sipping champagne that cost a whole year. She's got a brand new wardrobe looking oh so fine, but did she steal those fancy threads from Beth B's closet line?
Closet raid at midnight.
Hangers flying high,
Trisha in best dress.
waving that brooch to the sky. She's got that sparkle in her smile,
That devil in her stride.
stealing closets, cash and clout. Watch her take the ride. Trisha the Grifter, queen of the con.
Grifting lonely ladies from dusk till dawn.
Phones and fortune, she takes them with glee.
Funding her fabulous, ridiculous spree.
Gold brooch pin right there on her chest.
Flashing brighter than the lies she tells best.
Trisha the Grifter.
Ooh, what a thief living large on somebody else's greed.
Oh, Trisha, Trisha, what's a girl to do?
When the well runs dry and the marks are few,
She just bats those lashes, spins another tale. Bless your heart, my darling.
then she's gone without fail.
Question. Do y'all think this song is actually more flattering to Trisha than Old Bat in a Hat? I think this song is better. It's a nicer reflection on Trisha than Old Bat in a Hat. Hey, you know what, Trisha? If you want to use my song, Trisha the Grifter, I'll sign over the rights to you.
Trisha the Grifter, swinging through the night.
Stealing phones and purses from the dead.
What we're going to do Saturday Night Live.
From lonely old ladies to Ramsey rents online.
She's funding chaos with somebody else's dime.
That big gold brooch catching every light on clothes that might belong to Beth B. Ain't that right?
the grifter.
Swing it, girl.
Trisha.
Yeah. I think I'm going to give her that song. It's better than Old Bat in a Can. Y'all hit the subscribe button. We'll be back tomorrow. Goodbye.
Trisha the grifter strutting down round Bev B's yard.